Y'all ain't finished. Y'all ain't finished. Make sure you come ready to go this next week.
How about those?
Are you ready for the best Kansas City Chiefs insight? Welcome to the Four Guys in a Bar podcast, presented by Chiefs Blitz and sponsored by Eric Haynes with the Eric Haynes Group. If you're looking for a real estate expert, call Eric Haynes today at 816-729-3785. That's 816-729-3785. Now here is your Chiefs Blitz host, Nick Athan, with Lou Montagna, Andre Tillman, and Hense Todd.
Unmute yourself, Nick.
Ta-da! There we go. Press the little button, and now you can hear me. I'm Nick Athan, your host of the Four Guys in a Bar podcast, presented by ChiefsBlitz.com, and my partner there, Mr. Hense Todd. How you doing, Hense?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing amazing. It's a great day today.
Sun came up, people. The sun came up. It's all good.
And we all still here. We still live and we still breathing. Let's enjoy this day.
Let's do it. Let's make sports fun again. All right, here we go. First up, we're going to talk about our sponsors on our great show, the people that help us make this thing go every single week. First up, Mr. Eric Haynes with the Eric Haynes Group. If you're looking for someone who can help you buy or sell a house, give Eric Haynes a call at 816-729-3785, or you can email him at esellskc@gmail.com.
Proud sponsor of Chief Who?
That's right. Another proud sponsor is my incredible, amazing wife, Emily Athan. If you are looking for someone who can help you get a good health insurance option, she is your number one source. Open enrollment has begun. You have till December 15th if you want a marketplace plan. But if you're looking for a private option with a whole lot of extra benefits, give her a call today at 913-215-9086.
Emily.
He loves Emily.
He does. And we also love our new sponsor, Roll Team.
Buy a cell phone at Resell Electronics and save up to 25%. Our phones are pre-owned and in great condition. We carry top brands like iPhones and Samsung. Sell us your old phone and we'll offer you cash on the spot. Resell Electronics in Independence.
That's right. Resell Electronics. If you're looking to get a pre-holiday gift, this is the time to do it. Give our good friends a call at Resell Electronics. If you've got some old stuff you want to trade in, they'll give you cash. You can use that cash to buy something, which is pretty great. So whether it's a cell phone, tablet, laptop, game console, or TV, whatever it might be, home audio, give them a call. Now, they got two great locations, one on Nolan Road in Independence and the other one down on 40 Highway. So call them today at 816-886-7285 and tell them that Chiefs Blitz, Primetime, and Bowtie Sports is sending you, and they'll give you a 10% discount on your purchase. So call them at 816-886-7285.
Resell.
And speaking of resale, they gave me some product to show. So we got some iPad phones.
We got a white box.
We got some AirPods here. Then we got an iPhone there. Hey, you can get this iPhone there as well. Also, you got some, the Galaxy there. You can go get in there as well. And I gave me a bunch of other stuff too. So I'll be showing that throughout the show, guys. So go in there and get like Nick said, go in there and get your mention Chiefs Blitz, Primetime, or Bowtie Sports. You got to get your 10% off. You know what I mean?
Hey. So, I'm gonna head up there next time I come up to KC. So absolutely.
How everybody doing today?
A bargain.
I'm good, man. A little tired, but I got my last text at midnight last night, so I'm glad. I got none this morning. So
all right. So again, I'm here for the weather report. Again, we're sitting here. It was like nearly 80 degrees yesterday.
God, that's great.
Well, of course, today it's like 60 something, which still for November for us, this is outstanding. The sun was not out, but as you see,
with a gust of wind
on my face,
with a gust of wind,
the sun has shifted a bit. So. It's a wonderful day here in Northwest Pennsylvania.
That's right.
Ready to rock and roll, talk some Chiefs football, and maybe we'll get another Chief Who participant. Let's get a winner.
Let's get a winner today. I have narrowed down the gift, so the gift will be announced
before it actually happens.
I hear the gift, but where's the guitar at? It's right there in that corner, man.
I know.
I'm waiting. I know the guys are waiting. I'm waiting. Listen, Nick, you owe us that. Man.
I do. I owe it. I'm gonna make good on it. Maybe I'll do it at the same time. I'll tell you what. I will do it. I will do it for the Wednesday pre-Thanksgiving show. How's that?
Okay.
Fair enough.
You said that last time.
No, I'm going to do it. I promise.
We don't know if it's true. If you do it, you do it. We'll see.
I'll stop procrastinating. I'll practice and I'll get some new strings.
Hey, Nick, it's in your blood, man. Just go ahead and do it. Hey, give us a pre-snap right now. Go ahead.
Not with those strings. I would snap my fingers. I would literally cut the tips of my fingers off.
I got you.
Those strings haven't been changed in a while.
I got you.
How's your day going, Coach?
I can't complain. Busy.
So subtle. I can't complain.
Busy. That's it.
How's everybody in the chat? Go ahead and get a shout out to everybody.
There we go. Nick Patrick Slayman, Andre the Glazer Tillman. Let's go.
Mr. Nick, man. He told me that yesterday. I said big glaze.
Mary Lee is back in the house. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Kathy Welch, Dan Akers. Appreciate you guys for being subscribers. Let's see. Ruben's in the house somewhere. There he is. And Daniel was first up today. And Paul Lorenz was in as well. Good afternoon. What a great day for America and the best time to be a Chiefs fan. Let's go beat the Donkeys. It is Donkeys week. We'll talk a lot more about this game a little bit today, but probably a lot more on Friday as we preview the AFC matchup between the Chiefs and the Donkeys.
Yeah. So
I can't wait for that game. This is just my favorite team to go against in the AFC West.
I mean, when Elway played for him, it was my favorite time. Elway was a problem.
He was a problem.
I hated Elway, man. I did.
That's all right. Montana got him once in one of the greatest Chiefs games I've ever seen.
I watched that the other day, man. I said, "Damn,
doesn't matter. I'm good.
I got you.
I'm good."
Let's speak of these key acquisitions. I know trade deadline was yesterday. We missed it, but it was the Chiefs did make some trades throughout the out the season. And let's look at some of them, acquisitions. That's my favorite dance move I've been seeing on the internet so far.
That is not me. It looks like me as a kid, but that is not me. I just want to make sure we're clear here.
It's a fine haircut you got there, Nick.
Yeah, I know. It's exactly how my hair was too. I saw that. I'm like, oh man, this is really creepy.
So, acquisitions, right?
But they got Hollywood Brown went down. They got Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz was going to go in, but Mahomes said no. Nico Hardman, Juju Smith-Schuster, Hendershot, Cam Thomas. I thought I would see more from, but we haven't seen nothing from him yet. P. Ryan, Kareem Hunt, and D Hop, and Joshua. I can't pronounce his name correctly.
Joshua Uche, right? Uche. I think that's how he's pronounced it with it kind of more of an SH.
So this going to be the package that that's going to have to get us across the finish line. As you look into it, look at it all that, a lot of people added on their teams, but the Chiefs just, as you sit back, the Chiefs just know what they're doing. You know what I mean? We can say we want this person. I can say I want Horn. Other people can say they want other people, but again,
too much on the table, sir, to get them guys. Too much on the table.
The Chiefs just know what they're doing at the end of the day. When Juju Smith-Schuster comes back, he looked like he's on his way back. And Isaiah Pacheco looking like he's making his way back as well. This team is – I looked at the schedule yesterday. I'm like, where's the loss going to come in? Where's it going to happen? Luke, you got anything for him?
Are we going to talk about the list, or what are we talking about?
Hold on. When did we start calling out people at the beginning of the show? I thought we just volunteered.
Oh, hush.
What is this?
Mute that man. Hush.
So Nick and I talked about this yesterday in terms of things happening at the deadline, and the Chiefs weren't going to overpay for anybody.
Right.
Talked about Marshawn Lattimore possibly being an option. I'm sure Veach made his best offer, and the Commanders just offered more. But if you just look at the totality and what they've added since the season has started, you've got some key components here. I mean, none probably more than Kareem Hunt at this point, what he's meant to the run game. filling in for Pops at this time as well as can be expected. You would have liked to see somebody with a little bit more juice, but in terms of in the overall, I don't know that we could have asked for much more at this point. So, I mean, that's probably been the one that's really kind of got them through this, even though they're undefeated, but just kind of made the running game functional and so forth. When it's all said and done, I think D-Hop would probably be the biggest addition of them all. When you look back at the end of the season, after the playoffs, after the Super Bowl, you're going to say, wow, adding a professional wide receiver to this group really made the hugest difference.
Yeah, man, I told everybody that though. Like, if y'all look at him in the red zone,
well, you were first, Coach. Yeah,
absolutely. Was I first?
I don't know. I had never heard of the guy before the Chiefs got him.
That's crazy though.
He's like a no. He was basically a nobody. I don't know where he came from.
I'm appalled you said that, Lou, because you're very detailed, Lou. I'm appalled you say that, but that's why Coach is here. Yes, I'm glazing D-Hop. See, my glazing is different. My glazing is productive, Bo. I see when I glaze up players, they produce. You know what I'm saying? So again, D-Hop in the red zone is amazing, bro. Like, you look at D-Hop on third downs and just a guy that Mahomes can trust with sure hands. Guys, ain't nobody making that catch but D-Hop, man. Ain't nobody on the Chiefs roster.
It was a Devontae Adams kind of catch, It was beautiful.
Only Travis Kelce can make that type of catch, but D-Hop
I don't think so anymore.
You don't think so?
No. Not between three defenders, 40 yards down the field, maybe not.
Outside of like in the recent era of players, I mean, outside of like a Larry Fitzgerald,
right?
Who do you when you look at a contested catch,
right,
or did he get his feet in? Have you ever questioned it when D-Hop has been involved in the play?
Never.
No,
he's going to catch the ball.
It was Lynn Swan-esque.
And he's going to get his feet down. In that particular case, he's in the middle of the field. But just in general, you don't question it. It's like he's near the ball. It's a catch. The feet got down. First down or touchdown. Let's go.
He got this quiet arrogance about him, though, when he made the catch. I said, that's just D-Hop, man. It's like, that's just D-Hop, man. To me, like what Bo said.
He's brought the biggest back to the wide receiver.
He sure did. It just
that's the biggest in-season trade I think they've ever made.
Biggest, yeah.
And you look at that, but then put the list back up. What I think is interesting,
you're right, Merrill,
is the way that Veach kind of, manipulated his roster. And the first move was Matt Araiza. Here Tommy Townsend is, wants a big contract. He goes, fine, go. We'll see you. Thanks for the few years.
Right.
They bring in Matt, who had some off the field trouble, was completely vindicated. He comes in on an NFL minimum deal. He's been
Pro Bowl level.
What's that?
I said he's playing at the Pro Bowl level.
He is playing at a Pro Bowl level. I mean, just look at the punts. I think he's had one bad punt all year. He never held before, and now he's the holder for Butker. And it's just Veach just kind of methodically. A lot of these teams will get their guys and then they'll kind of be done, but he's constantly evolving. He's constantly looking at this roster, so when Hollywood goes down, he brings in Juju, when Rice goes down, he starts looking for another receiver, ultimately gets Hopkins. They need another tight end. They get Pendergast. They just kind of, and Kareem Hunt comes in, P. Ryan comes in, McCole Hardman comes back, Carson Wentz. You look at the way, just the order of all this is kind of like the timing of when they really needed to do something. And he went out and did it and limited in cap space too. So it wasn't like, he could bring on a whole lot of salary, but he's got some inexpensive additions right now, including Juju, who the Patriots are paying the bulk of this contract.
He built the machine. So you have to give him credit for that. But when you're dealing from a position of strength and you can just take these pieces and add them in, all of a sudden the aggregate becomes this massive thing. And that's why fans say, well, geez, how did they let this team get that guy? Well, there's probably a good chance he didn't want to go to many other places, right? And it was only a 5th round pick. Well, nobody else was offering more, and if he didn't want to go somewhere, they weren't going to make the trade. So take nothing away from Brett in terms of these moves, because every single one fills a role. Every single one of these guys has the right mentality when they've come in, they drop into the culture. So that's the part of it too, is that you can't always just look at a guy as statistics and what they've done, or perhaps how he fits on the field. He's also factoring in, how's he going to fit in with these guys? And it seems like at every turn, he brings in the right guy and they're ready to roll. They're grateful to be there on top of everything else. And it's just beautiful to watch because they just fit and they don't skip a beat.
Real talk though, but D.I. wanted to come here, guys. Remember, he's his own free agent. He wanted to come here.
Well, in this go round, he took the money to go to Titans last year, but he was gonna. It was the Titans or the Chiefs at that point.
Yeah, man. Like to me, guys like that are looking for, like, D.I. doesn't have a Super Bowl ring, man. He wants a Super Bowl ring. That's, to me, he didn't achieve every accolade there is, man. He said, you know what, it's time to get a ring. It's time to get a ring. So.
You could tell just after the game, in the way, when he said that comment about, praising the Lord and just manifesting this in his brain that this is where he wanted to play.
Yeah.
And ultimately it happened as he had the vision for it. When the Titans, informed him that teams are calling, and he's his own agent, so that helps. And he had to say where he went, but I think that, but the opportunity had to be there, and everything had to fall into place. But I just like the risk factor, and Lou and I talked about this yesterday. They were trying to get Marshawn Lattimore, but the price that the Commanders, quote unquote, paid for him was pretty extensive, and there just wasn't another cornerback out there. Now, a lot of people have asked me today and sent me some instant messages about it. Xavier Howard, he posted something online and said he's ready to rock and roll. He's had some off the field issues where he's been, I think, accused of something, but I don't think charges have been filed. So I think teams are going to be leery, but he's not going to go anywhere unless he's willing to do the, to play for the NFL minimum for the remainder of the season. And the last time I checked, before the season started, he still wanted that $6 to $8 million contract. So
he's going to have to. He's going to have to.
He's going to have to make a decision.
He's going to have to prove it with a team. No one's going to see all of a sudden roll out the red carpet and give him a huge fat contract based on what he's done.
Yeah, especially if he's facing a potential suspension next year if the case goes forward. So, I think that listen, I'd love to have him, and if he comes in with the right attitude, and the Chiefs are willing to take the risk, and it's the NFL minimum, sure, why not? But I want to see what Roland Wallace can do. I want to see what Nick Jones can do. We got Shamari Connor, you've got Trent McDuffie. It looks like Jalen Watson is going to be back at some point. He certainly made that impression on his Twitter account yesterday that he's not done. So I think the Chiefs are going to be okay there. I think it was a wise move. In probably passing on Lattimore, and it's just not giving up too much draft compensation because he's just owed too much money.
Especially with Andy Reid today confirming that Isaiah Pacheco and Charles Emmanuel, making good process, and closer return, won't practice this week, but could be practicing next week. So
if they practice next week, they got a 3-week window to put them on the active roster.
Yeah, 21 days. Once they open that up. And I think Charles had posted something, he's been doing that YouTube special or whatever, that series of his recovery.
Really,
and I think he said this was the last one. So that he put up. So if that's any indicator, he feels like he's ready to roll.
Hey, who is Duke Rose? He said Queefs. Did you misspell the word or something, sir? Did you misspell the word or something?
He could be a Broncos fan. Who knows?
He could be.
Let's
welcome Duke in. Let's welcome.
That's all right, Duke. We love you anyway.
Let's welcome Duke in.
I can't see how close to the avatar, but is that like a Chiefs backwards hat?
It looks like a Chiefs backwards hat.
Okay, it
may actually kind of looks like Mahomes a little bit. So
thanks for jumping in. But Hense, you may have seen this, but I think it was on Instagram where D-Hop had posted the picture of him and Patrick hugging each other, and then superimposed Tom Brady and Randy Moss.
Yeah, that was
pretty cool. So
right there, I see the vision.
He kind of low key is, has some petty there, but great to see that.
He's great, man. He is fun to watch on Instagram and Twitter. I'm telling you, he's the best.
Yeah, man.
It's great. I like the game video he put up after the win.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's get into some of our sponsors. Gans, before we get into Chiefs too. So we're gonna do the sponsors a little bit backwards this time. So we're gonna
go. Wow! Wait a second.
Way to mess me up.
We're gonna roll them back. We're gonna.
I gotta redo my script now. So
okay. I don't know. Okay, so we'll just go like it was. There. I know you.
I
don't care, man. Whatever's in front of me, I will.
We gotta practice. We gotta practice it sometime. Let's go.
All right, let's get it.
Might as well do it live.
So yeah, we just go to the sponsor. I know you got a script, so I just go with the one you got with it.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Okay, Nick. All right, go ahead, Nick.
Oh my goodness, this show's off the rails already, and we're only 20 minutes in. Hey, we've got 3 great sponsors on the show, and they kind of make the wheels turn here. And first up is my very good friend, Mr. Eric Haynes with the Eric Haynes Real Estate Group. If you're looking for someone in the greater Kansas City metropolitan area that can get you through the process of buying or selling a house, if you're thinking about selling your house, let him come out and evaluate it. If you choose him to list your house, he'll do the job. If you want to buy a house, he'll do the job. He was amazing for me and Emily as we went through the process of trying to find our dream house, which he delivered. So if you want him to deliver for you and cross the goal line, give him a call at 816-729-3785, or you can email him at esaleskc@gmail.com.
Proud sponsor of Chief Who?
Another proud sponsor is my incredible, amazing wife, Emily Athan. If you're looking for a custom health insurance quote, you want someone to evaluate your current plan, check it out. She will go through the entire process with you. Take a look at the ACA plans if you're on one. It is open enrollment. If you want a private option through United Healthcare, she'll be able to put the best plan forward for you and your family. Call her today at 913-215-9086.
Emily.
Last up, our new sponsor, Resell Electronics.
Emily.
Get the best deals on new and used electronics at Resell Electronics. TVs, laptops, Apple Watches, cameras, cell phones, plus so much more. And if you're into gaming, we carry new gen as well as vintage consoles. Resell Electronics in Independence.
That's right. Resell Electronics, our new sponsor. If you're looking for any kind of a consumer electronics, they will buy and sell they'll buy your old stuff, and they'll sell you some new stuff that you can replace. They'll give you cash. They'll work with you. It's just a great location. And one in Nolan Road and one on 40 Highway. They will take care of all your consumer electronics. Hey, it's the holiday season. And if you go in there and you tell them that Chiefs Blitz, Primetime, and Bowties sent you in, and you mention any one of those 3 companies, they'll give you 10% off your order. So call them today at 816-886-7285.
Resell.
Hey, real quick. Rose said it wasn't a misspell. He said it wasn't a misspell. He said, you know what he did. It's all right, sir.
He said what
he said.
Yeah.
You stand on it, sir, and I respect it. So you got my respect,
going
man.
down. I love it.
Mm-mm.
Hey, we like all Broncos. We like
That's right.
Broncos
Bring
fans.
the noise, man. I love it. Bring the
One of
noise.
my best friends is a Broncos fan. It's all good.
Dookie Rose, huh? I'm gonna call
But
my
of
man.
course, Paul's
Duke.
looking for 14 wins in a row. So we're not
Dookie Rose. Indeed. Hey, no, bro. Keep talking your smack, man. I love it, man. Bring it in.
That's
Bring in
right.
all the smack talk, man. I love it.
So what you got for us today, Lou? On Chiefs.
Here we go. It's
All
that
right,
time,
let's
gang.
roll.
Strike up the band,
Strike up
Hensley.
the
It
band,
is time
Hensley.
for everybody's favorite game, Chief Who. The scoreboard reads currently Kareem 2. Ken St. Clair got on the board last week. Way to go, Ken St. Clair. So you maybe tie it up. We'll see. So I'll read a series of concocted clues, and maybe they only make sense to me for the most part, but we're going to play anyway. So here we go.
Let's do it.
This Chief, 2 of his college teammates play key roles on NFC East teams. NFC East, actually NFC East contenders.
Ooh.
Joshua, new addition from the Patriots.
No. Second clue. Here we go. Second clue. He's a real weapon.
DeAndre Hopkins.
It is not D-Hop. Clue
He's
number
a
3.
real weapon.
He is having a great week. He's having a great week.
That's a good one. Hold on.
Travis
Travis Kelce.
It is not Travis Kelce, nor is it Xavier Worthy. Anybody else have a guess in there? Next clue. He came into the league soaring.
Damn, never mind. That was a good one. Never mind. You said soaring. I said, okay, hold on.
Kareem Hunt.
Justin Ross.
Okay, it is not Kareem.
No, hold
it's
on.
not George. P. Ryan. We'll just go right through the roster.
It's not Justin Ross.
Karlaftis.
It's
It's not Ross. Last clue.
Hicks.
Last clue. Here we go. He's a catalyst on many of the scoring plays. And just like that, Kareem, we have a tie ball game. Mr. Ken St. Clair, thank you. Yes, indeed, it is James Winchester, number 41, the long snapper for the Kansas City Chiefs.
We have a tie.
How did he soar? Where did he soar? Like,
two college teammates play key roles in the NFC East teams. Contenders, Lane Johnson, of course, all-pro tackle for the Eagles, and Tress Way, the punter for the Commanders. He's a real weapon, obviously. His last name, Winchester, first repeater firearm, among others. He's having a great week. You know, he wins the game in overtime against the Bucks. They win, and he comes on the field wearing a MAGA hat. So there you go, James. Way to go.
Hey, Lou, can I ask a question real quick, Lou?
How about I finish first, Coach?
Hey, show game. It's show game. It's show game.
Absolutely, it is. Came into the league soaring. He was an undrafted free agent with the Eagles, so he came in soaring. Didn't last long, and of course, he's a catalyst on many scoring plays. He snaps the ball. So there you have it. Chief Who for this week. James Winchester. Thanks to all for playing. Ken St. Clair. Kareem, where you at, man? Let's go. All
right, Lou, now can I ask my question?
And of course, as always, Chiefs Who brought to you by Eric Haynes and the Eric Haynes Group.
Hey, all right. Ask my question.
I call on you.
Got you. Hey, you know how spelling bees, they be like, can you break down the English and all the other nonsense, right? So how about this?
So you need,
can we say
a clue, you need a clue to the clues? Is that it?
Something like that. But look,
no, he wants a cheat sheet.
P, right? I want to say, is he? Are they on the bench? Are they on the bench or are they starting?
You heard all the explanations, so those come afterwards. That's kind of a key part to the game is that you don't give it away.
You're right. Yes. But I'm saying, can I say, hey? Are they on the bench or are they starting?
Well, he's a starter. I mean,
okay. See, guys, I'm trying to narrow it down to make it more easy for everybody else. I'm just saying.
Well, there's a 53-man roster. You've got some guys on the practice squad. Again, this isn't the layup line, 3-pointer.
Oh, whatever, Lou. It's cool.
It's not gonna be easy. All right.
You're right. It makes sense.
You got to earn your respect in this game.
That's right.
I know. I see the shit.
Ken St. Clair, man, that was a good one. After I was reading it, I'm like, I probably should have made this a little bit easier, but no, way to go, man.
Yeah.
Speaking of earning your respect, let's get it right to the Chiefs. The Denver Broncos versus the Kansas City Chiefs game week. Now, is Patrick Mahomes the toughest NFL player of all time? What you have to say about that, Luke?
That's a tough one. Obviously, that's very subjective. He is a very tough football player, especially when it comes to quarterbacks, all the things that he's kind of fought through and remained in games, played while injured in playoff runs. He's got to be up there, but there's other guys. I mean, hell, Ronnie Lott, cut off a finger to keep playing during a playoff run. I think Jack Youngblood played in a Super Bowl with a broken leg. T.O. was not 100% for sure after breaking his leg when he was with the Eagles, in a Super Bowl. There's a lot of tough guys. I mean, if you go back to like the 60s and guys like Jack Tatum, for the time being, and we'll leave it as I'm going to say Patrick is definitely up there because he can play injured and still play well.
So is he a top 10 in that category? Because a lot of guys you didn't name though. What would you put Patrick Mahomes in that?
It's tough. I mean, it's hard to quantify. It's so subjective. I mean, and then toughest. It's kind of a nebulous term. From an injury standpoint, I mean, he's not hitting people, right?
Well, I talked about that to the safety of the 49ers.
His toughness is more just the fact that he can fight through stuff and he's able to still perform at a high level. So that might be a separate category. I would have to put him in the top 10. Yeah, I will, just because of what he's been able to do.
I think at the quarterback position, I've said this for a long time. Ben Roethlisberger was the toughest quarterback I've ever seen.
I was about to say the same thing.
Being able to get out of a tackle, to extend a play. He wasn't the fastest guy, but he was built like a brick house. I mean, he was just incredible. In his prime, you could have two guys coming in virgin on him, and he will push them off you, and he'll go make a 30-yard pass down the field by escaping the pocket. And Mahomes kind of has the same ability to just kind of escape and to break tackles. Now, I think obviously Patrick's a little bit more athletic than Ben was. I think Ben, I'm really going to say this. I think Ben's arm strength was a little bit better than Patrick's, but
that might be sacrilegious.
It might be a little sacrilegious. Meaning the way that he used to throw the ball and the pace and the depth and the touch and all the things. I think Ben Roethlisberger had a terrific arm.
With that statement, if they see you in a grocery store, kick Nick's butt.
Just kick my ass. It's fine.
Whoop that ass.
I'm working on a few hours of sleep here, so it's all good.
Hey, but you know what?
I think.
Go ahead, Nick.
I think the way that he threw the ball in a more conventional way, he wasn't a sidearmer. He didn't do a lot of shuttle passes. He didn't do some of the great things that Mahomes does. I'm just talking I just have a lot of respect for him. I love watching him play football. He was so gifted and so tough. And he was that way from the first snap coming out of college to his last snap in the NFL. And that's what I really appreciated about him.
I think Mahomes is just built tough, man. I think he's just a tough of this generation. He's probably the toughest player coming after this generation right now. He's tough, man, because he didn't pop that knee so many times, man. And for him going to silent, come right back like nothing happened, I was like, that's crazy. He just tough. He's the toughest player in his generation right now.
To play that well, to be that injured as much as he's had injury, and just the kneecap thing. I mean, it's just like
kneecap to the ankle.
and also in this era, I'd be remiss if you don't mention Matt Stafford.
Yeah,
because of what he was able to kind of play through in Detroit. I mean, just the famous NFL Films piece of when his arm came out of the socket on a play against the Browns, and somehow he sacked it up and finished off the drive or the 2-point conversion, whatever the hell it was. And that was just pretty commonplace. And when you see him playing with the Rams, I mean, that is one tough SOB, and I would put him up there with Patrick in terms of in this era together.
Shout out to Andrew Luck too, guys. People in the comment section said Andrew Luck. He was a tough guy too.
And of course, both guys are from Texas. So
I have to say, I have to agree with that. I'll say yes, he is. He gets up in people's face. He's a tough guy. He got that Jordan S about him. He doesn't matter. Nothing gets him. Nothing get him under well. Even though if he's down, he played a bad game. The guy still comes back and fight. His legs are jacked up, knees. I was there, guys, at the Super Bowl, right? I was there when they was playing.
Hey, in case you guys didn't know it yet,
I was there.
Even all you regulars.
I was there.
Our own Hense Todd was at that Super Bowl, and he's got about 1,000 selfies to prove it.
Yeah, I was right there by his ankle too.
He was there working professionally for some media outlet, but most of the pictures he was in.
Some damn.
I don't know how that happened.
Oh my goodness.
Like, I was there watching the guy on the sideline. When I seen him go down and he was in pain on the sideline, I was like, okay, this is over. He ain't coming back from this. We up. I actually walked out the stadium, guys. I walked out the stadium.
You walked out on your team, man.
I walked out. But then I seen him come back in the second half. I was like, this guy is ridiculous. He just ridiculous. Nothing ain't going to stop him. So I would have to say yes.
I'm thinking there was a certain portion of the population watching the game the other night.
Oh yeah,
when he went down,
got quiet.
That we're thinking the same thing. Like, oh God, that's it. We're done. So
hey, listen,
he's just remarkable. He really is.
The game for me. Hey, real quick. my Super Bowl experience with Patrick Mahomes, when I realized how tough this guy was against Tampa Bay. That man got beat, and he still continued to play. He still continued to play. To me, that's my favorite Super Bowl with Patrick Mahomes because the grit and the toughness. He earned my respect.
If he had a little bit of help from his receivers in that game, I mean, some of those throws that were just otherworldly. I mean, Tyreek, he had a couple in his hands. Was it Damian Williams or one of the running backs down on the goal line? Had a chance at one. So
Travis Kelce dropped a crucial one. Yeah,
he's just one of those guys. They're just built differently, and you can tell. Right off. So
Brett Favre's another one. Right, John. Brett Favre's another one.
Brett was pretty good too.
Yeah, Favre was tough. Boy. Favre was tough, man. Grit. I'll tell you, hey, play a quarterback. You gotta have grit, bro.
You gotta be the last quarterback to drink a beer and go play football. That in that era.
Damn, that's different.
Let's get into the next question. Why are the Chiefs so clutch when the game is on the line?
Coaching. Luke. Man, damn it! If you don't stop,
I'm going to the line. Well, I believe it's because they've been through it so often. They've played so many close games that they're kind of conditioned, and the moment's never too big for them, right? Absolutely. They've had enough reps at this, whether it was 13 seconds left or overtime here. Every big game, it just that experience is there, and then of course, you've got just the Grim Reaper with the ball in his hands, right? I mean, over my dead body, we're not losing this game, come hell or high water. And we talked about it. I don't know when it was, maybe our last show, but as soon as that coin flip came out, you just saw Baker's face. He called tails, the ref says heads, and he immediately was like, warm up the bus.
He was like, we're done. It's over.
Honey, I'll be home in 2 or 3 hours.
There you go,
but
Nick. He was like,
they talked a little bit about it today at the pressers as well. And they've talked about it in the past, but training camp, the long drive drills that Andy makes them do every one, where it's like a 15 or 20 play drive in the heat, no subbing out. Like even Patrick said, maybe a water break here and there. And for him, it's not as difficult. But, for the receivers, the linemen, I mean, they're running the DB. Everybody else besides him probably hates it.
Right.
Because you're running so much and it's play after play after play. But it builds a callus, and just to be able to persevere and just in any conditions, any score, game situation, they're just built for it.
Yeah, what I think's impressive is it's not just Mahomes. It's the offensive line. It's the running backs, the receivers, the tight ends on offense. And on defense, all those parts that are moving and all the things that have to take place. And you're right. It's just Andy Reid just prepares these guys for every situation. But, they know what to do defensively. They could give up a big play or have a stupid penalty or give up a touchdown and come back the next series and go 3 and out. And when they need it, that's the thing. When they need a defensive stop, or they need to get a first down on 4th and 1, or they have a 3rd and 15, they've been in as Lou said, every single situation. But it's the whole machine. It's not just one player. It's all the 11 guys on offense and defense that have to be in unison and on the same page and understand what they're supposed to do. And then you got to freewheel. You got to say, okay, I can make this play. So I'm going to do this knowing that this guy's going to cover this, or this guy's going to run a route and maybe he's going to extend it, but the other guys are going to throw away, move away from him. So that opens up the lane. I mean, it's just, they're constantly thinking. And I think that's what makes them so clutch. And I think that's why, they won 13 games in a row, looking for 14 Sunday against the Broncos.
14 now.
Yeah, 14 now. So it's impressive to see. And, I think Lou and I, maybe we touched on this a little bit yesterday, but it's just like, they're not fearful of anything.
No,
there's no fear in anything they face.
I'm gonna tell you,
there's no situation that they haven't seen, right?
So I'm gonna say this: they play great situational football, guys. That's all it is, man. If you really look at the tape and look how the Chiefs play on defense, Spags know when to blitz. Because again, when Chris Jones is already a factor, man. Just like how good Mahomes is, Chris Jones is a factor on defense in the fourth quarter. Let me tell you what's scary about the defense, though. It's bad enough you got to double team Chris Jones, right? And it's bad enough George Kalafis is starting to step up,
triple
right?
team him.
Spax is going to blitz you out of nowhere. There's nobody going to stop that blitzer.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because you already double teaming Chris Jones, man. It's a free guy coming down the line because you're not accountable. You're not thinking about a blitzer right now. The only thing you're worried about is Chris Jones.
Yeah.
Right. So that's just. Would you say?
So they clutch because of Spags?
Yeah, because it ain't just Spags. It's Andy Reid too. I'm just saying, like all together, they know they play great situational football down the street. That's why, to me, honestly, even without D-Hop, they know how to get the job done because they've been here. It's coaching. The guys' mentality is like they just built for it, man. It's different, man. Yeah.
I'll say the reason they clutch is because they battle tested. These guys went through every single battle that you can think of. Overtime, 13 seconds. You know what I mean? Game on the line, injured players, next man up.
Yeah.
This team is battle tested, so overtime doesn't matter. You know what I mean? These guys been there.
Doesn't matter.
Any moment is for them. Like you can throw any moment at this team, at this 2024, this 2024 team. You can throw any moment at them, and they can probably say, "All right, we already been tested for this. We already been tested. We already have this moment. We ready for it."
This team is scary though. This 2024 team is scary, man.
That's a superpower, and that's the silver lining of not blowing a bunch of teams out. Now, you want to show the ability to do that, but I still playing in a lot of these close games as you go along, it just builds more and more confidence that no matter what we face, we're going to come out of it on the other end. And it's just, again, it's scar tissue that you can kind of call on during the playoffs when you're in a tough situation. Is like, we were able to do this against that team, this team, whatever. So yeah, it's pretty special to watch.
It's just scary because there's nothing you can do with them now, because like this team to me is probably the best team because of the chemistry, man, and they're battle tested, man. And they're scary because, like I said, every time I watch these games and they come to the fourth quarter, the Chiefs are going to win it. They're going to win. Not just Patrick Mahomes, even on the defensive side of the ball too, because we've seen, Spags dial the blitz at just the right time, especially against my guy, the Bengals, right? Against JB, dialed up the blitz, Connor, boom, sack Burrow, strip fumble, right? So it's like they know when to do it. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, this Chiefs team to me is dangerous right now. Stretch, man.
Speaking of other teams, man, looking at this, how do you rate the AFC teams today? Like, we looked at the Chiefs being battle tested. How do you rate?
Man, who's first, man?
I'm gonna go. I'm going first. The senior member is gonna go first.
Damn. Go ahead, Dick.
I can see to the guy on the right or left, depending on which way you're looking at this. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, so honestly, okay. You said, how do we rate the AFC teams today? Man, next to OG, Nick gave me. He told me I can go.
Go ahead.
No. So you said, how do we rate the AFC teams today? Like, what you mean? Talking about as far as like defense or offense going?
No, I'm just talking about the overall teams itself. I saw something today that just I should have posted it. It made me really mad. So I'm just curious as to, we look at the AFC powers. And there's 3 or 4 teams that I think on any given Sunday can beat any team. So what are those 4 teams? What are those 3 teams?
See, that's why I had Lou go first. See,
okay, smart ass. Well, Lou, go first then. Lou, go ahead. I'll go last.
Right,
then.
So without further ado, thank all that other stuff first.
Right, go ahead.
Teeing it up for me. Okay, so I'm going to have the Chiefs first. I would say probably Buffalo right now second, Baltimore third,
right,
and then fourth. I'm always going to have Pittsburgh in there because they're always going to be dangerous, but it's difficult for me to put them up there because I still don't know what we're going to get out of Russell Wilson in the long term. If he keeps playing the way he is, then it's I have no problem.
That's a huge if.
But still, Burrow's one of those guys. You're going to have to kill him. You're going to have to kill that dude to put them away. So I would put them as high as like 4th or 5th in the conference right now.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. That's high praise.
Well, who else is there? I guess that's the other thing.
Well, the Texans are there.
Houston without the receivers and just a little bit of a rough patch. So let's see. But if I'm taking a snapshot today, how I would put the teams, that's the way I would have them.
I agree with you on that with the Burrow because the hunger's there, man, with him, man, and he's playing at a high level. Like CJ right now, the Texans, man, if they had their weapons, and then it'd be different. But the way the Texans playing on offense right now, they kind of like scare me because they so like
they may get together, but right now,
they're not playing great offense right now.
Yeah, and then like I said, Josh Allen, man, he got that team rolling too. So I would definitely put Josh Allen up there, and then of course Baltimore. So with the addition of Deontay Johnson and whatnot. So and then they just picked up White, but like Lamar is playing at a high level too. So I definitely throw him in there.
So what were your numbers? Who you
Dang, you want to put them in order? Okay. I'll say right now, of course the Chiefs, right? Chiefs, Baltimore. I'll say Cincinnati, and I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills, man.
Okay.
But if I had to look at it, man, it's gonna be the Chiefs. And guess what, guys? The Chiefs again after that. And guess what?
Big Glaze.
You know why? Because Andy Reid is running through. He ran through both of Jim Harbaugh brothers, right? Beat both of them up. Now he got Sean. He got Sean Payton that's on his list. All these big name coaches is getting smacked around by this old guy and this mustache. So I feel like if you look at it, it's got to be Chiefs and nobody else. Maybe somebody else do step up. But other than that, man, hey, this team is on the road. Hey, I'm sorry to go to list go like that. But hey,
I watched this power ranking this morning.
Dylan.
This is the order it had: Lions 1, Ravens 2, Bills 3, Chiefs 4. And I'm thinking to myself, who would put that up there? I don't even remember who it was.
You got to stop watching First Take, Nick.
I try not to.
My God,
it's not my cup of tea, man.
That's not even a TV show. I don't even know what the hell that is.
I don't know what it is either. I met Stephen A. Smith at the Super Bowl in Miami, and talk about. The ego on air is the same ego that struts around.
He is who he is.
And God love him.
You talking about Stephen?
Yeah. And so Stephen A. But I saw that and I thought, this is just insane.
Somebody trying to be cute,
that's all it is. But the Ravens are not a better football team than the Chiefs. It's just not. They're not. They got 3 losses. The Chiefs have 0.
Well, regardless of the losses, even if you just look at just from a talent perspective, when they are playing at their best, they are a good team. They just haven't been consistent, and they've had just some weird performances because the losses, other than the Chiefs loss, losing to the Browns with Jameis at quarterback.
That was questionable. That was very.
They lost to the Raiders late in the fourth quarter, and you're thinking like, what? How does that happen? See, now that again, it's just it's hard. Again, when they're at their best, you have to put them up there, but you don't know what you're going to get. It seems like from week to week.
What's crazy though? But speaking of that, make Max Crosby play that game. Myles Garrett. Maybe he's a weakness in the Baltimore Ravens.
You put pressure on him. You put pressure on him.
Man,
I don't know that it was pressure in those games. They just they got to late in the game and they were just flat.
Yeah, and when Henry is not getting rushes and he's not getting yards, when he's getting 2.3 yards per carry,
so
it's all on Lamar Jackson, and he can't do it.
Interesting game this week, and I hate to go off topic here for you, Hense, but Thursday night, the prime game, Cincinnati and Baltimore, all of a sudden becomes a huge game because if somehow Cincinnati beats them, they get to 500 at 5-5, and now all of a sudden Baltimore's 5-4. That division, starts to get a little closer. Pittsburgh plays in Washington this weekend, so. That's should be an interesting one.
That man, I was about to go deep into the game, but it's not on. We ain't discussing that.
No,
game.
Not yet. No,
the
sorry.
LC. Let me stop. You're right.
Let's go. What's the next one?
What's next?
My bad.
Speaking of the interest, what would this offense look like when Isaiah Pacheco returns?
Yeah, more balanced, I guess.
I think Hunt's going to stay the starter, and Pacheco's going to be the backup. And I think Andy, when we get to December and probably January football, you'll probably see those guys on the field at the same time. I think he'll create some opportunities. I don't think they're going to rush Pacheco back, but Kareem Hunt's a different style of runner. Pacheco has obviously more speed, but he doesn't have the vision. He still hesitates. He sometimes doesn't find the open holes. That's a problem. And he's so gifted and he's so talented. But the Chiefs are a grinded out Marty Ball team right now, and that's get me 4 or 5 yards a snap.
I love it.
With Hunt, they're gonna beat Hunt to death. They're just gonna play him until the wheels fall off. And they know they've got Steele, and they know they've got Pacheco. Who knows what they do with Edwards-Helaire? But this is a good problem for Andy Reid to have, because I think the Chiefs are going to be forced to keep running the ball. I think it's smart. It helps the defense. It extends drives. It takes time off the clock. It's important. But I think Pacheco. I don't think Pacheco's just going to get his starting job back.
Honestly, looking at it, I love it. I love this Chiefs team, man, because they just get physical, man. They get physical first.
And you know who's that physical person?
Man, if you don't stop cutting me off.
You said number 15, you're 15. Taylor been playing his butt off. Taylor been playing his butt off.
No, he didn't. It was a hiccup in that game, though. It was a hiccup, but they didn't call it. But
Go ahead.
Well, I think one. Go ahead. Are you finished?
Come on, Hans, finish up.
Because he cut me off, man. I'm gonna say this. I love the physicality, man, with this team now. I love the physicality. Smith up front has been dog walking people up front, man, and look at just the physicality of this team.
So, Coach, what would the Chiefs' offense look like when Pacheco comes back?
Hello, somebody just asked me the question. What are you saying down below? So now I'm gonna say this. The same. Just keep running the ball.
Okay, so when Pops is 100% healthy, if we look at it that way, because early on, I think it will be, the split will be more like 70-30. Going to Kareem if he's healthy and he's not too beat up. As Pops becomes 100, when they feel he's 100%, he can take a full workload. I think then it shifts a little bit and maybe goes to like a 60-40 split with Pops getting 60% of the snaps. Now you're going to see on the outside plays, you're going to use Pops a little bit more because of the speed. Running inside, either one of them is going to be a battering ram.
Yep.
So, and I think just kind of the flow that Kareem has now with the offensive line, you're not going to go away from that too much. So I think they're going to have the best of both worlds with the two guys. So and then you don't have to worry about Samaje Perine or putting anybody else on the field. Those two guys will be the real deal.
Right. Thunder and lightning, right? Let Hunt go ahead and go up to the inside and let Pac bounce to the outside. That's how the offense.
Yeah, I wouldn't put Pops ever in Gibbs' class, but kind of like Detroit with Montgomery and Gibbs.
That's my guy, man.
Gibbs a little. Obviously, he's got crazy speed.
Yeah,
but that's kind of what you can do, because you can use them interchangeably, but one of them is going to be a lot faster than the other, so maybe some different plays.
Yep,
that's true. Good point.
Yeah, I'm looking for the offense to be more explosive when he gets back. I know Kareem Hunt is very tough and everything, but Isaiah Pacheco's bring that different type of energy.
He can bounce outside. He can get to the edge. I don't think Hunt has the speed to get to the edge anymore, but that's not what they're using him for.
And he brings that type of energy and that grit that they need on offense. Just like Travis Kelce tried to bring, just like Rashee Rice was bringing until he got hurt. And that's their hype guy that's on offense. So when he gets back, I can see this offense going more and more and clicking way much better than it is.
Man, listen, that offense.
And don't discount the fact that Pops wants his job back.
Yeah, he wants a
contract. He's going to be a little extra motivated, right?
Yeah, he wants a contract.
Better earn it, then. Better come out there and earn it. So
Speaking of a contract, a lot of people was mad that Brett Beach didn't get no cornerback. So what do you say? Do you think he made a mistake with not getting a cornerback? I added one at the deadline. Coach, since you want to go.
Damn, about time. Shit. No, again, yes, because I was looking for them to get a corner. I definitely was. Even though the Chiefs did win that game, I still feel like go get a corner. Go get a corner, man. I was kind of like disappointed they didn't make the move. But again, Lattimore was asking for too much. So I get it. So now I'm like, okay, because J.C. Horn, Carolina ain't giving up J.C. Horn either.
No.
So I'm like,
agent.
yeah. So I'm like, well, just play in-house then. Just play with what you got. Use your front seven. So again, I'm very disappointed, but is what it is. They just play in-house then, I guess. They just go off what they got. So yeah, but I'm disappointed. I am.
Well, let's hope Najee Johnson's back this week because your boy just looked terrible at number 2 out there. He just Joshua Williams was just really bad.
Yes, Nick, former All-Pro corner. He's got it down, man.
Yeah, I mean, Najee Johnson has got to play well. Roland Wallace is getting a lot of good experience. I think
they all got to play well. I mean,
but it's he was so good last year, and he just kind of regressed this year, and he can't be inconsistent. He's got plenty of time to turn his game around.
Right. And I think Cuffs put it well today. He was on the mic talking about this. They had asked him the question, and he says that typically Joshua, I think it's a confidence thing. He said when he's confident, he plays, just like anybody else, plays a lot better. And I think, again, as time goes on, I mean, it's not like he's busting. I've said this 100 times. It's not like he's busting coverage and getting beat over the top. Right. Over and over and over again. I mean, I'm just not seeing whatever you guys are seeing.
His closing speed to the ball,
that he's playing terrible.
Yeah, the softness in which he attacks the ball, the receiver.
Who got so much love?
And also, we don't 100% know what Spags is asking him to do on play to play.
It's just heartwarming to hear Lou
talk
about
so I think he's going to be fine. I think.
All right. I can live with that.
Nazi will be fine. They'll all be fine. It's again, you're playing with a second corner, and at a certain point, the defense playing as a whole just it's not going to make that big of a difference. So in terms of him making a mistake, I think he made an effort to improve the position.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't work for them. Right. The price was too high for what they were going to get in return. Yeah. So now do you just go get a body just to get a body? I think they believe that the ones that they have in house that have been playing there for a few years that know the defense don't have to go in and learn the defense during the year. And it's not a huge need. It was something, hey, if we get them, this is great. But we don't have to. This is not going to make or break the season. So I'm never going to say that he made a mistake. He did. He made the best deal he wanted.
I love it.
He didn't get it back. So move on.
I know what, Lou, the love for number 2 is heartwarming. You know what I'm saying? It's heartfelt. You know what I'm saying? I feel that because that's your guy, man. And you're going to go to bat for your guy. You know what I'm saying? I feel that. But it's what it is.
I'd be the first one to sit here if he was getting torched left and right. Yeah, I'd be the first one to say he probably needs to go a different direction, but it really hasn't happened that way.
I feel.
And I kind of agree with him that way. I kind of agree with him too. He ain't been getting torched, but he haven't like Nick said.
Take your time.
He haven't been getting up on the receivers like he should be. But again, I didn't know we still had, I didn't know we still had Nick Jones. So we see what happens with that. But again, guys, hey, I don't think he made a mistake. I was hoping, you can't just go out and sell the whole house just to get one horse, right?
No. I'm in total agreement. There was not a trade I would have made.
Right.
So I think Lattimore is a great player. But, if he was coming to Kansas City, he would have had to restructure his contract.
Right.
And I don't think he's willing to do that. I mean, to give up $36.5 million or $39.5 million, that's a lot of iron, as my grandfather used to say.
A lot of iron, man. A lot of iron to give up.
With that said, guys, that was the topics of the game week. Let's get into our sponsors before we close out.
All right, let's do it. First up, we're going to talk about my good friend, Mr. Eric Haynes. With the Eric Haynes Real Estate Group, if you're looking for someone who can help you buy or sell a house in the greater Kansas City metropolitan area, this is your guy. He helped Emily and I find an amazing house. It took a long time, but he got us through the process and negotiated the best deal possible and always had our back. So if you want the same experience, whether you're going to list a house or you're going to buy a house, give Eric Haynes a call today at 816-729-3785, or you can email him at esaleskc@gmail.com.
Proud sponsor of the Rifleman, James Winchester.
There we go. Love it. Also love our next sponsor, my incredible, amazing wife, Emily Athan. Hey, listen, open enrollment is here. What does that mean? That means you have till December 15th if you're looking for a marketplace option. Obamacare, as it's also known, or if you want a private plan with a better deductible, a nationwide PPO, and access to some of the best facilities in the country at a lower price, potentially, give her a call. Let her evaluate your current plan. Call her today at 913-215-9086.
Emily.
I certainly do. We also love our new sponsor, Resell Electronics.
Deals on new and used electronics at Resell Electronics. TVs, laptops, Apple Watches, cameras, cell phones, plus so much more. And if you're into gaming, we carry new gen as well as vintage consoles. Resell Electronics in Independence.
That's right. Resell Electronics, our new sponsor. They buy and sell all consumer electronics. Hey, if you got some stuff lying around, or maybe you didn't get it sold in the garage sale, maybe it's whatever, anything electronic based, they'll give you cash for it if there's any value to it. And if you need to get stuff, cell phones, tablets, laptops, game consoles, whatever it might be, they are your one-stop shop, especially with the holidays coming up. Make sure you tell them that Chiefs Blitz, Bowtie, or Primetime sent you, and they'll give you a 10% discount on your order. 2 locations, 1214A South Nolan Road, and the other one in Independence down on 40 Highway. Call them today, 816-886-7285, or check out their website at www.resellwithac.electronics.com.
Resell.
Get that nice Apple phone there.
Get that Apple phone. They got great deals.
I think the kids call them iPhones, but
yeah, whatever.
There you go.
Lou is with the mess. You hear me? Lou said, I think they call them iPhones.
It's still Apple to me.
Apple is kind of like early 2010, right?
Take a bite. Take a
That's
bite.
right. Take a bite of Apple. Take a bite.
Hey, I heard something today.
What's that?
Statistically, for these kind of like milestones and benchmarks for the Chiefs, they have now won 14 games in a row.
Right.
The 2003-2004 Patriots had won 21 games in a row.
Wow, that's crazy.
So on top of a potential three-peat undefeated season, they can get the Patriots on the all-time consecutive wins, since the merger or since whatever, the Super Bowl era or whatever the hell it's been. But I thought that was pretty interesting. That Bills game probably going to be the biggest stumbling block, I guess, at this point, because it's up here in Buffalo. But I hadn't heard that before, and I thought that would be something to share with the group.
Yeah, that would be pretty fascinating. I mean, this team, who knows? I think it's a little early to start talking about undefeated seed.
Yeah, that's
or chasing a record like that.
Crazy talk.
Don't fear nobody. Be yourself. Take them out.
They beat the Broncos, which I think is gonna be a little tougher game because of the way they played last week. Meaning the Broncos in Baltimore. Hold on, a guy like Bo Nix gives the Chiefs defense a little trouble. They're gonna have to be really disciplined for the bootleg, and then they get to play the Bills, and the Bills are gonna be fired up for that game.
Bo reminds you a little bit of Baker, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He's kind of the same build. Now he's a little bit faster, I think, than Baker is. But Bo Nix, I mean, he got a baptism last week. When they're, like I said, when the Ravens are on offensively and defensively, it's tough. And when you got an inexperienced quarterback, it makes it even more difficult. Now he gets to come into Arrowhead. Again, it's a good baptism for him. We're going to see what kind of quarterback he's going to be. But, Sean Payton, he hates the Chiefs. He hates the Chiefs.
We'll say that for Friday.
All right, fine. We'll bring it up for
we'll go. So with that said, guys, thank you guys for joining. Always. If you do go to resale, go ahead and get your 10% discount and enjoy. Hey, and also, they're working on something online too. So, if you can't make it in, if you're out of town, you can start get something from online too.
Congratulations, Ken St. Clair. 2
in a row. Way to go, Kenny. 2 for 2. 2 out of 2.
Hey, Lou gonna make it tough, guys. I tried to make it a little simpler, guys. I tried to throw a little wrinkle in it. Lou gonna make it tough, guys. But
no participation trophies, coach. No, you gotta earn it, man.
You're right. We got Factor Cap, the Cube top 6. So see you guys Friday.
All right.